Hey everyone, it's the RC Groups podcast. This red hat, Jason Cole. What's happening, Jason Cole?
What's going on?
Well, Jason, first of all, let's just go over some events that have occurred. Thanksgiving has occurred.
That it has.
My birthday has occurred. I am now legally old enough to drink. I'm catching up with you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's good news.
What else has happened? We had a major server move of RCGroups.com, the world's largest and most moved website in the RC world. We moved from a server in Texas. I don't even know where the other server lives. I have to think in Canada, don't you, Jason? Do you know where?
No telling.
But so I'm sure some of you have noticed some things have been changing. And when we made the move, we had a lot of stuff we had to deal with. And Jason and I will at some point in time celebrate Thanksgiving. And I thought maybe this week would be our Thanksgiving, but I'm thinking more like next week now, Jason.
Maybe next year. We'll get it.
I'm going to hat bend with you right here.
Yeah, do the hat bend. We need the cup, man. Where's the mug?
So, hey, saying all of this to all of you, if you're watching, I would love to ask you if you have some issues, be sure and jump in site complaints or site chat and post what you're seeing. And that will allow us to put it on the main doc where Jason and I will go and look at it furiously for hours on end.
As long as it's new.
Yeah.
I don't need I can't post attachments. Thread started 50 times. That doesn't help.
What else? It is Thursday.
I've had a great week, though. Besides that,
you've had a great week. How have you had a great week?
Well, I mean, we got to go fly, me and you together. I got to fly back in Boone, up on the lump. There's some cool things that happened between
that was last week, though,
last
right?
Podcast.
Oh yeah, since the last podcast. I woke up sick on my birthday, and I wonder how our connection is. How's your connection?
You were cutting in a little bit out for me, but you're fine. You're good.
Okay. I'm going to now go over to our webpage and say hello to the live users right now as I don't stop talking and don't interrupt the podcast and YouTube Hangout in any way. Of course, today we're going to be talking about the drone ball. Jason Cole and I went out and flew it. I hopefully have some video over here with audio we're going to be able to watch. Yeah, we'll get a little drone ball. I'll tell that story. Okay, here is the live hangout going on right now. I can tell with the hat I'm wearing. We have Carmelo Aurora, E-Powered RC, and Steve Wattenberg on so far right now. Jason, I have an email I want to read you.
We did play drone ball.
It comes from Utah, Gunnison, Utah.
Okay.
It says, Jim, comma, I look forward to hearing your live broadcast this afternoon on youtube.com. Just know there are people like me that look forward to it every week. Have a wonderful Thursday, Joey Crane.
There you go.
Joey, I hope you have logged on. I'll go and see if you log in later. I guess I would know if you'd logged on. I'll read it again after Joey's on because that was nice of Joey to send us a letter. We appreciate letters in this one-way world of communication. It is nice to get input from the other way. What if this hat wrestles me to the ground? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so here's what I have. I haven't slept in 6 days. Here's what I have. I have a video that we're going to watch the drone ball. And in this video, Jason and I, first let's talk about it ahead of time. We'll let some more live viewers come on. It's Thursday. Jason, what are you doing this weekend?
That is a good question. I might be flying drones in town.
Where?
Nashville.
It's Nashville.
Nashville. You know, the city we live in?
Nash Vegas.
Nash Vegas.
Guitar City. Guitar Town.
Yeah, buddy.
I bet. I don't know what we'll be doing. I believe I gave whatever I have to my wife because she won't stop kissing me. And now she's sick. So who knows what will happen this weekend.
Sounds like there's a dude on a dirt bike riding down the street.
Don't you have your surveillance camera?
It is going to be December 1st this weekend, though, starting Saturday.
Starting Saturday. What does that mean, though?
It's December. Oh. It's the holiday season.
I thought maybe something happened on December 1st. All right. We have, who else is in here? Well, I'm not seeing as many names as I see logged on. That's interesting.
Well, that's because if they don't chat, then they
Oh.
don't show up. You'll have a lot more viewers than you have chatters.
Smart guy.
How this
Joey,
works.
if you're on, make a chat post so we know that you're on here. And if you're not, then don't, whatever you do. Droneball needs meow mode. By the way, Brian Chambers,
That's the truth.
I actually talked to Manny about this. Manny was at first not sure what meow mode was. So I sent him a link to me using meow mode. And I said, this thing is, you can't have this one. I mean, you can't have it. And you'll see how much fun we have. But you do need meow mode. So we have other things to talk about besides the Droneball. Jason, what else are you showing us today? Why don't you show us that?
I'll start out with, I went to North Carolina for Thanksgiving. And I had just gotten word from the High Country Soaring Society Club that they'd got the waiver approved. I back in January, we talked about this. I did the article. It was talking about the federal ban on flying, model aircraft at, federal parks, which the Blue Ridge Parkway is government land and they own it and they banned flying. So they got with the AMA, and through that article, we were able to put people in touch, and they got all of the T's crossed and the I's dotted, and the whole 9 or 10 or 11-month process of getting everything just right, all the people to sign off on it, they got the waiver. So I took a sailplane, drove out there. I did a video. I put that up today in an article about me going out there. And it was where I learned how to fly. So that was really special for me to go back out there and have all those memories come back. But still an amazing place to fly, alpine soaring, slope soaring, slurmal soaring.
Slurmal?
Yeah. It's like we're it's slope lift and thermal lift all kind of combined into one ball of awesome lift. That's so much fun to play in. But so I got to go out there and play and hang out, and the weather was warm for the time of year, but it wasn't the right wind direction, so it was just okay.
Swarm?
It was swarm. So it was just okay, but it was just more about getting out there saying, hey, this is a process that you can partner with the AMA on, and they will lobby and push, and they know who to talk to, what to say, what documents to have, how to get it done so that you can fly at a previously banned site. So there's rules involved. You have to have AMA, you have to be a member of the club. There's no drones allowed, it's sailplanes only. So there's restrictions and rules, but it's there. You can fly there. I proved it and it works. So thanks to everybody that helped out with that. And that was really cool.
Awesome. And did you say no pictures? Oh, was it too cold? Wait, I'm going to stop. E-Powered RC, it was your birthday on Monday. Your birthday's November 26th. You're a Sagittarius too. And you were sick as well. What are the odds, Jason?
I don't know. Should we show the videos I sent you?
Yeah.
For your birthday?
Can you do it? No, don't show that one video. That video made me nervous. I felt hot.
Oh, man.
Okay, that's not appropriate.
If you guys never heard of Jib Jab, check it out. You take people's faces from pictures and they animate them and make them do like music videos. I think we had Sia. There was a video I put Jim and his family on the Sia dancers for that whatever song she sang. It was hilarious.
One of them I was in a thong and it wasn't right. E-Powered,
cracking up more than anything.
E-Powered and I are the most philosophical of all the signs.
Wow.
Sagittarius. Same as Jim Morrison, by the way, because we are the Lizard Kings. Wow, November 21st. A lot of people around that birth date. So I will tell a story on we will go to Droneball right now. So Jason and I built our Droneballs. I actually took some more photos yesterday, Jason. I hate to admit this, but I will in the live broadcast.
Oh no, I know what you're going to say.
The first time in I can't even remember. I have misplaced SD cards. I've never straight up lost an SD card. Like it's in the camera. Then I go to the field. It's not in the camera, which is a problem for me and Jason. And I never found it. I cleaned the basement. I literally have thrown away bags of trash out of the basement. So I haven't found it.
It's lodged in some cat poop somewhere in your house.
It's like in a pair of jeans or something. But I did take the Droneball apart and put it back together for some photos in the video, as you might have noticed. And Jason and I went out to the field, neither one of us knowing what to expect. And we were very pleasantly surprised. Jason, do you think I should show the video first before we talk about it?
I
think we'll talk what the video already said. Let's see if this works, y'all. I'm trying to do a streaming video.
It's an exclusive look at Jim's desk layout.
Well, you can also see everything in the reflection.
That's what I was getting at.
P.S. y'all, I don't know if I said this on the broadcast, but my samurai sword that I keep right there, I found out it's from the early 1700s to 1800s. So that's pretty exciting. All right, let's see. Okay, let me preface the video. Turn this. Okay, I can't say. Just look at me here. When I was making the intro to this video, something occurred to me. It was like the rubber ball commercial you would see as a kid, like Zoingo or something like that. So I started doing it, but it wasn't quite right. But I'd said the word drone ball about 20 times different ways. And my wife's upstairs and I get a text and it says, "Do I need to come check on you? What are you doing? You sound like a crazy man. Are you saying roll call over and over again?" And then I got into some editing software, audio editing software. And this is what we got. And if everything works, you'll be the first people to view the drone ball video. Let me know if that audio sounds okay, Jay.
Drone ball. Drone ball. Drone ball. Drone ball. Hey everybody, we're here live at the field with Jason Cole. Jason Cole, you just flew
the drone ball.
Sweeper Droneball. What do you think?
This is legitimately one of the most fun drones I've ever flown.
I gotta say, Jason, I did not think it would bounce on the ground. Cut to the ball and me bouncing it
Bouncing
on the runway.
Boing, boing.
Doink.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there because I have an idea, Jason, that we're going to use. Wait, where's my head? We're going to use some of this video in the review itself. So I don't want to get too verbatim in the review. So now we're going to talk about it. So we get to the field. Jason, what's your number one drone ball question?
Well, we just had one from Brian Chambers. He says the ball is absolutely awesome. Did you try flying it without the cage? I don't even know if you probably can.
Wouldn't it be high powered?
I wouldn't recommend it, dude. It would be some serious power. I guess you could, but why would you want to if you paid that kind of money for that drone ball? Put the cage on it, because that's when it becomes a whole lot of fun. Otherwise, you have to worry about crashing and breaking props and
right. I would ask how robust it would be without the cage, because it's built to be flown with the cage, so it may not. The arms may not be as strong as a.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend it. It's too much fun with the cage on.
So the big question I think both of us had was,
how would it fly?
Well, Will, how would it fly with that big cage on it? Because I was telling Jason that I had flown quads before, just hauling things around trees, and had burnout batteries that way. So we'll let Jason talk about how he, as an expert pilot, thinks it flew.
Yeah. So I was really like, okay, what is this going to be like? Is this a toy? Whatever. I was like, I came in with an open mind, but with sort of an expectation that it wasn't going to be that good. And I have to admit, it was really good. It handles well. The controller feels really good for what it is. It's not a high-end controller. It's small and plastic, but it actually is ergonomically very well done. And,
here's the controller.
Yeah, that's it.
The only thing I had a problem with is I am a finger thumber, and these are too short for that. So it's definitely a thumbing
only controller. Yeah, I'm a thumber, so that's good. All the best pilots are thumbers.
It's true.
So
I'm pretty sure Jace the Ace is a thumber, because when I saw him, I was like, no way you can fly that way with the tops of your or the pads of your thumb.
It's just about. No, we're not going to get into that. But anyway, so there's 3 different rates. So it's got a low rate, which is great. You can fly this indoors. I flew it in my house, in my hobby room right here. You saw it, I think, last time we were on. And it'll just handle well. It's only ever in an angle mode where it's always auto leveling. Now you can hook it up to Betaflight and modify that if you want. So I didn't think about that, but we could make it do acro.
I have an update from Manny on that.
Yeah.
So first, we have a question from the live audience that says, if you have big hands, is it hard to get a battery in? I would say no, but one thing that you have to do that I will mention in the review is it's held together by zip ties. And if you don't clip them like right as close as you can, those zip ties will scratch your hand every time you stick it in the cage to do the batteries.
Yeah.
So do that.
Pro tip.
And here's what I have to add to your piece that you said. Manny writes, couple of pointers. First he says, nice video, exclamation point. Couple of pointers. It's a good thing I have 6 monitors. Looks like you have not yet discovered auto flip. Press the right stick. You'll feel a soft click which will activate the auto flip function. To flip, move the stick in the direction you want to do a 360 and watch. He also says, we have firmware for the radio that allows you to also fly the sweeper in rate mode that will let you fly without any roll constraints. It's activated with one of the radio buttons, so you can always go back to altitude level mode.
Yeah, I got to get a hold of that because I would love to be able to do flips and rolls because it's going to be easy to maintain orientation with the lights. And that's like the only thing I was like, I wish I could do this, you know, but the auto flip thing is cool for beginners. Like you can, but it's just like, you're not flying it. You're just pushing a button kind of in a direction, but the rate mode, that's awesome. I'm excited to hear that. So I can't wait to get a hold of that. So it's a firmware update or something.
Well, I have some other stuff here on the list. I'm going to go ahead and read everything Manny said. This, of course, will be in the written review, but I wanted it in this piece as well. What it says is we have firmware for the radio that allows you to fly the sweeper in rate mode.
Okay.
So maybe I can get him to send me information on that.
Yeah, let's figure out how to do that.
You can also increase the battery size to 2,000 to extend flight times.
Oh, we were running 2200s.
Were you? I don't think I was probably running 16, the biggest.
Yeah, I was running 18s and 22s.
And then also, and I could link to this in a minute. The map price is $349, and he says we have holiday coupons that will get you almost 40 off. So that gets you down to $3, which is getting pretty close to the right price, I think.
That's helpful. Yeah, I think it's kind of high, but it is a Graupner product, and you know, it's just the way it is from Germany.
Oh, this is awesome. I say in the video here, and we can watch some more of this in a second, that I was going to do something on the backside of the drone so that I just wasn't looking at the LEDs like Jason was. And he says it might be worthwhile mentioning that we'll be selling different color cage parts. So what I would suggest is maybe you have the front of it is green and the back of it is red, or something red is the back and white is the front. Might be.
So yeah, I got another thing. With the lights I think the lights were perfect for orientation from front to back. It was real easy because it was always going to be upright that you could see white or red front and back. That was like no question in my mind, even far out, like which way was which. The only thing is when you get in rate mode and start doing flips, I would love to have a different colored top cage from the whole bottom cage. So then it's like you got lights and cage, you know, colors to really help you with top and bottom orientation. I think it'd be cool.
Okay,
that's interesting. That is interesting.
To pull this over here, and we're going to go look at a couple of other things.
I do want to mention about, we were talking about the flying, and I was talking about low rates. It's got mid rates and high rates. And in high rates, holy cow, is it high rates. It's got the angle limitation, extreme, you know, angle, and you could rip with this thing. It was like flying a 5-inch racing drone with a cage around it on high rates with angle mode on, but you were just, it was fast and powerful, and you could rip and turn on a dime and do a 180, you know, in no space at all. And just, it was booking, and that was really fun for me.
We'll take a look at that in just a second. Also, I wanted to say, if you're flying in your backyard, we're looking at the gauge right now. I'm about to zoom in on this. If you're flying in your backyard, you can use it on rate 1, and it's very docile. Rate 2 is very stable, and then, of course, on and on. So now let's look at these gates that Manny was talking about. So this might be a good piece. Let's see if there's a smaller one. These gates are kind of like what we were flying in the video, but this little cube might be good. Going to open? No. La, 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 la,
White
la,
screen.
la. Sometimes when I see people walking down the street, I invent the way they're singing in their head. And then when we drive by, I sing like them.
Oh, I guess they had them at the AMA Expo. They said they were shooting hoops with them. I was like, that's brilliant. You take the net off of a basketball hoop, and then you can fly up and through it, or top to bottom.
Okay, I'm giving up on this page right now, but there will be a direct link to that in the review itself. And I don't know where my video's gone. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to cut over to the video. We're going to fast forward through Jason talking a little bit.
Thank you.
Oh, this camera. I promise y'all I'm going to get the ultimate. That's a different mouse. I'm going to get the ultimate camera set up here. I still am working on it.
I want to be super stable. But then I found mode 2 was actually better. Mode 3 was too much because any input was putting me way too sensitive. So the thing I love is that it bounces. And so far, you know, when you take this thing apart and you feel these in the case, they seem rigid. But when you get it all together, it's amazing.
You know, we need to get a Harlem Globetrotter guy to fly these and do all those basketball tricks with it.
Or cut it when you need to. So you can be real safe with it.
Also show them the speed button.
So you've got a speed button here, and also an LED button where you can change the colors of the side LEDs. But you can change your rates here. That's high rates, low, 2 beeps is mid. So we'll start out in mid.
Do me a favor and pick that ball up, and let's change the LEDs just for fun.
Give me a flavor.
See how I say flavor instead of favor?
I know what you mean.
Shade a little bit. You just hold the button down. There's red, green.
Didn't really show up that great on camera, but it's actually very visible during the daytime. Even in the full sun, your eyes visually can.
Also, these would be great at night because they have lights all the way
Let's
around.
cut to the night shot.
I will say that when I was trying to defeat,
I've yet to fly it at night. I gotta do that.
on the whole ball,
I gotta charge some
what
batteries.
I really should be focusing on is the rear tail lights.
Keep your orientation. Those lights actually do.
I really gotta do that.
And they're visible.
We're having company over tonight
Cool.
for like a dinner thing.
I bet these things are super.
The guy that's
So
kind
I'm
of
going to follow him around and not be afraid because theoretically the blades can't get me.
All right, Jason is now going to fly the quad and show you the rates. It is a flying soccer ball.
Wow.
So how's the video over there, Jason? Not stuttering?
Oh, it looks good to me. Yeah, it's way better than like playing it off the YouTube video where it's just choppy.
Oh, look at that.
You could run into stuff, you know.
Jason hit me pretty hard. I don't think we got it on video, but it was like somebody pushed me.
It's got some mass to it, so it's not like an indoor air hog toy.
No, these are the high rates, y'all.
So far in any direction, it is auto level, so that's extreme one way, that's extreme the other way.
Okay,
You actually don't want to hit somebody full speed with this.
No,
it's gonna hurt. It's got some weight.
Those blades at some point would have to protrude, or you could get in there.
I can just see a little kid's hand going through it, so you kind of want to do it smart and safely.
But I can always pick up that white LED or that red LED, so you know front to back.
Okay.
That's right.
It moves. Let's do a climb out. See how fast it goes.
And we'll go from the climb out to the fun. Crazy, man.
See ya.
Question for us would we just missed Jason Cole laughing with delight.
He was giggling like this. So we were rolling it off this roof.
Boom. Oh, my battery fell out that time.
I like my text on this
The
thing.
battery can never be lost.
Sure to Velcro the battery. Yeah, so rolling it off of there and bouncing it, more than half the time you were able to power on the motors again and fly right out of the bounce.
And P.S. This is the first time we actually flew these pretty hard. Or that's the first time I flew it ever. And then the soccer, I'll jump to some soccer plane too.
Hey, I think we're stuck on me.
Oh no.
I'm looking at myself now and not the video on the live feed. Need a third one so you can juggle. There you go.
Oh, no. Sorry, y'all. So we got a couple of good hits. I don't know if that's when you hit me or not. I told Jason after.
If you watched the video at this point, you've seen.
Are
grouped together, I think groups of 4 or 5.
I'm going to go back to this since we missed it. I was saying that.
We just missed Jason Cole laughing with delight.
I was pretty amazed, how rugged it was. I mean, like to fall off a roof like this and not care, that's some good design. And the only reason that battery fell out is because there was no Velcro on it. So you put Velcro on it and you're good to go.
Yeah, it was just 2 straps. Yeah.
And then
if you're going to do that kind of stuff, it'd be great.
At one point we were playing and Jason was coming at me and I knew my drone was over my head and I didn't have to worry about it killing me. But I didn't realize until I looked up that it was about, 50 feet over my head. And the great part is that nothing can really happen. You're not going to break the quad. You're not going to cut yourself open. I think this is the best part of this thing, especially with FPV. So I'm going to go look at live chat. Yeah.
Does look like an 80s commercial for something.
My hat, my shirt. I'm not sure what this outfit is. While we're at it, I got an email and it said, hey, we were talking about using these for FPV. So this is an FPV team and they were talking about how these are viable FPV trainers. So look at how small this guy's porch is.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so now that is some limited space.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, Jason. How many times could you do that before you're like, I think I'm tired of this? I would have to go out to the park.
He needs to set up gates below it so you can go through the top, rotate, come back the other way through the bottom, and then do figure 8s in it. You could play with it, but
so on the front of this thing, there's a little pad for an FPV camera, and I own a little I think it's 200 milliwatts, and it's very small, and you can power it off its own battery, I guess, and bingo, you're in FPV business. Graupner. All right.
Nice. Yeah, FPV would be pretty cool with that. I tell you, it's like the safest way to learn how to FPV a drone. You're not going to break it. You can run into things. You can, practice to your heart's content. The worst thing when I was really okay, I'm going to be a drone racer. The worst thing about it was taking off 20 seconds later, crashing into a gate, and then you broke a prop or a motor or an arm, and you had to go walk out and pick it up, come back, spend 15 minutes fixing it, take it back off, and 20 seconds later it's crashed again. So this is the way to teach you how to fly and FPV and get a feel for it very safely. And you're gonna run out of battery before you do anything. So it's bring all the batteries and you can fly as long as you want.
Now, the one thing it didn't have, and the one thing that was mentioned in the live chat, is if you did get it upside down, there was no way to get it back in the air without running over to it and flipping it over. But I did.
That also might be adjustable in Betaflight if you hook it up to the computer.
Well, I know that he's at least aware of it, and he said, I'm going to talk to my guys and see. It could just, like you said, it could be a firmware update where you assign a button and it flips over and does. That would be so awesome, especially for FPV.
They call it turtle mode, I believe, in Betaflight, but it is a function that you can do. So yeah.
Well, I'll text him that in case that helps the process. I was thinking, if I go in the backyard in FPV, I'm going to have pine trees and branches that are going to come out of nowhere. And this cage is going to probably keep me in the air a lot longer. And the neighbors won't be upset.
True that.
Well, we're at a little over half the mark here for the podcast, but Jason has something super sexy.
Oh my gosh, guys. I feel like an RC newbie.
Oh, before we jump, 2 things. I'm sorry, Jason. First, I want to thank our podcast sponsor, Hobby King at hobbyking.com. They've been sponsoring the podcast since it started. I'll tell everyone an inside secret. I started the podcast without asking the owner's permission because I don't like red tape. So I called up Hobby King and I said, if I do a podcast, will you sponsor it? And they said, yes, we would love to. And then I did like 4 podcasts. Jason, have I ever told you this story?
No, I don't think so.
I got a phone call and it was Jim Burke. And he said, hi, what's going on? And I said, oh, you know, just rocking and rolling. And he said, hey, I've noticed that we have a podcast. And before he could say anything else, I wasn't sure what he might say. I said, yeah, and we have a sponsor, a paid sponsor. And he goes, oh, okay, all right, talk to you later. I thought, man, let's just push this one through, you know. So they jumped on and did that, and I appreciate that. And so the drone ball, I'm not exaggerating. I have a pile of stuff in front of me to do for RC Groups, and it has to be done as soon as we stop recording. I will be doing that. Hopefully, I'll be done by the end of the day. Friday, I will get up, drink coffee, and writing reviews are easy for me. What about you, Jason? The writing part's easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a structure to it, so it makes it kind of fill in the blanks, sort of. But it takes a lot of work and effort.
The shooting the video and editing the video, that's the hardest part for me.
Yeah.
And that video was super hard because there was so much stuff. And I just started at the front and cut all the bad stuff out, kept all the best stuff, and stuck it all in one video. But anyway, all that to say, the drone ball review hopefully will be up by the end of the day on Friday. If not, definitely on Monday. So that's coming. And now that we're out of the drone ball segment, we're moving into the, I don't understand the name of this company because there's no vowels. Let's cut to Jason. Jason?
No vowels. Okay, so I said at the start of this, I feel like an RC noob. And where this all started was at the USA Team Selects glider competition. I was flying my awesome Jetty DS14 radio, and my hands were getting sweaty. And I had to, you know, spin around and throw the glider, and my hands were getting so sweaty. I had to keep wiping them in mid-flight and like getting ready to take off. And I like felt like I was about to throw the transmitter, you know, and it was just, I felt like I was losing a little bit of the energy into a launch because I'm worried about my transmitter. Anyway, the Jetty's awesome. I absolutely love it. I'm not committed to changing it out yet, but I did go ahead and buy the X-Lite. This is the Taranis X-Lite FrSky Open TX based radio system, which I've never owned any other stuff before. I've always been Spectrum and Jetty only. So I'm like having to learn a completely new radio system, and it's not bad. It's not super easy, but I've been able to figure some things out and watch some videos, and I've got to do some mods to the radio. I've got to do some charging mods and add a momentary switch for gliders and longer switches because they're really short off of the bat. But I think it looks good. It feels really good in your hands, but then it ain't going anywhere. When I launch, I can put everything I got into a launch with a DLG, and this radio is not going anywhere. It's so much lighter, and it's got like game controller style grips to it, so it is not going anywhere.
What's the cost on that thing?
It was like $100, $150.
What? Okay, and then is red the only color?
They've got red and then black. They've got a black one, and it's fully OpenTX. It's as good as any of the other FrSky radios as far as programmability. It'll do everything. It's just lacking maybe a few switches from a bigger radio. The trims are a little bit different because you trim with this D-pad here. So it'd be elevator and aileron, and then if you want to trim the rudder and the throttle, you have to hold this button and then trim. So you might have to get used to that a little bit. And then the gimbals are smaller, so it's like less resolution because you're not having to move as much to get the full stick.
Is that good? But
you just get used to that, and it's actually Hall effect gimbals, I believe. They feel really good. It feels great in your hands. But this is every bit as capable as my Jetty radio as far as functionality, which is very interesting.
So it'll tell you altitude, and what all can it do that's like a Jetty?
There's full telemetry. It's got logic switches. It's got a speaker. You can do full voice control stuff. You can do, it doesn't have accelerometers in it, so you can't, make things trigger off of movement of the radio itself, but you can make them trigger off of switches. There's full DLG programs on here, so you could basically run a mock contest by yourself, and the radio takes care of all of the timing for you. Wow. In some ways, it does more than the Jetty and Spectrum stuff. It's only $115. I mean, it's like, wow, it's crazy. It is a lot to learn. So, you just want to spend some time watching videos. Looks like Steve said watch Painless 360's videos. So I'll have to check that guy out. There's a bunch of good YouTubers out there that are creating content. And then there's a wealth of information on RC Groups in the radio section. There's Tyrannus discussions and people talking about programming and upgrading and mods and all the things and creating Lua scripts and doing all these things that I had no idea that even existed because I never needed it until now. But so I got that. But
wait, tell me about the back grip, the gray plastic. Do those come off?
No, I mean, you might. It's kind of
I'm just wondering if I could build you a leather strap so that it literally strapped to your hand.
Ah, you could. Yeah, you'd have to figure it's part of the radio. It's a piece of the plastic. Like, okay. It's not. It feels kind of different, but it's not like a cover over top of the radio. It's actually the radio.
Gotcha.
And then you can put 900 megahertz module on this to fly long range. You can do so much with it.
Can I play PS4 with it too?
You actually could play video games on your computer with this. You just plug in the USB and it asks you, do you want to check out the drive or do you want to use it as a USB controller? So guys will connect this. You can do wireless one or plug it in and do simulator control with it. Small, light, portable, easy to use. And then the main reason about that, besides DLGs, was for the Tiny Hawk.
You got any of them Tiny Hawks?
I got a Tiny Hawk. So
this is the one you have the story about?
Yeah, so I ordered this from Pinion RC, who I'd never heard of. So I'd actually ordered it from somebody else, another company, and I was waiting in line for the second batch of these, and they were sold out. And then I saw a banner ad on RC Groups while I was searching around, and it was showing the Tiny Hawk, and I was like, whoa, maybe whoever this is has it. It didn't have a name, just said Tiny Hawk and a picture of it. I clicked it. It said it was in stock. It was Pinion RC. I ordered it, canceled my other order. I got a shipping notification. The next morning, I got an email with Pinion RC refund to my PayPal account. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, they didn't actually have them or something happened. They canceled my order or whatever. But the refund was only $15. So I was like, what's going on? So then I got another email from Pinion, and they said, look, we forgot to, or we were like delayed in getting our Cyber Monday deals up. That you placed your order before we could get it done. So we went ahead and manually applied the discount for you. It was at 15% off. He's like, thanks for doing business with us. Have a nice day, whatever. I was like, holy cow, who does that? They had I paid what I paid. I knew it was the price. I wasn't expecting a discount. They didn't advertise anything that I saw. So I said, I'm doing an article about this company. I've never heard of them. They did awesome by me. They had no idea who I was. I was just an average Joe customer. And then it turns out, it's an RC Groups advertiser. It's a brand new business. They're just starting out. So that was just a great way to kick off your business by treating customers well. And I just wanted to spread that word. So pretty cool. But the Tiny Hawk is a brushless. It's like Tiny Whoop-esh class. It is brushless. It is 1S, and it's going to be about the same size as the brushless Inductrix that you've got coming. So it'll be fun to play with these together. But it's indoor, outdoor, rate mode, angle mode, horizon mode, uses FrSky. You can put a Spectrum on this by adding a receiver, but just get a FrSky for it. It's what it's designed for.
What's your URL?
Huh?
Where can you go visit those?
Emacs. I did a news story on it. It's in our feed, our news feed. So I did the news article when they announced these. And then, so they're very popular. Everybody seems to be thinking this is like the hot 1S drone. There is another one called the Mobulus 7, I believe, but it's more of a traditional look with the motors facing up top. and a little bit fragile. That one you can break the mobulus really easily. It's a 1 or 2S quad, so it's going to have a lot more power, be a whole lot faster outdoors with 2S, but it's very easy to break, is what I'm seeing. And a lot of guys are, having issues with that, where this thing is like the toughest drone on the planet. The worst thing they're doing is breaking one of these little spindly arms, and you can easily fix that. And I think they're even improving this for the second batch, but they're crashing, the living heck out of these things and surviving. You might knock the camera loose and have to pop it back in. But it's holding up through some abuse and punishment. I've got about 4 or 5 flights on it just in my house, and it's awesome. I'm absolutely loving this. It was a massive upgrade over my old Indutrix FPV Plus, because I can fly just like that one did, real slow and docile, angle mode, really tight indoors, or I can go to full rate mode, and it actually flies well like a normal outdoor quad, and you can do loops and flips and rolls and, do some dives and actually have enough power to pull out still. So I'm in love with it. I'm having a blast. So, it's winter. And I know, and there's at least one other guy in Smyrna that's part of the multi-rotor club who's got one, and they fly Tuesday nights at the gym in Smyrna. So I'm probably going to go one of these Tuesdays, and we're going to go race around and play and have a good time indoors. And then,
awesome.
so Steve just mentioned Josh Bardwell or Nick Burns. Josh, I've been watching quite a few of Josh's videos. He's been doing this a long time, and I watched his Tiny Hawk videos, his Tyrannus videos, some information on how to set up my radio and all that stuff. So yeah, it's very good resources out there for learning besides RC Groups. That's really the best place. I've gotten the majority of my information off of the threads about Tyrannus and all that stuff.
Jason, did we do a review on the Vortex 150?
The Vortex 150. I'm not familiar with. Oh, is that I don't think we did. Nope.
I did one about this time last year for Horizon. I have it sitting back there ready to go again.
The ones we did were the what were they called? I've got one right here. What's it called?
Jason's in his PJs.
I am in PJs, man. Check it out.
Damn.
What is this called? I don't remember what this is called.
Oh,
the Scimitar.
Scimitar? Yeah.
Scimitar, yeah. So I've got the 210 or 215.
Blade Vortex 150. I'm going to Google that.
Vortex is a smaller, isn't that an immersion RC? I believe it is. A long, blade version of it. But anyway, I've never even flown one of those, so I'm not sure. I'm sure they're.
Matt Gunn did a feature story on it. And I think that might be it.
Yeah.
All right.
So all that to say, Christmas came early for me. I bought my Christmas presents already, and this is a new radio and a new drone, and got some batteries and mods coming. But now I just get to fly and enjoy it. That's what it's all about.
Well, for my birthday, I got a grill for a new back porch that I worked on all summer or fall. And I think I'm about to buy some RAM for my computer. It's pretty exciting, really.
Dodge? Getting a Dodge RAM?
I'm more of a Ford fella. Well, what else? Is that all you got, Jason?
That is it for right now. Yep.
All right, well, I have a question for you. Did you watch my video all the way to the end?
I watched it till you had like 30 minutes of black screen. Yeah,
that's fixed. But
then I saw there was some stuff after it, but I actually didn't watch that stuff after it.
Did you see
something funny?
Did you miss? Okay, I keep trying to run the other computer with the wrong mouse. Let me turn the volume up. I did one more thing at the end of the video.
I guess
it is a reference. Let's see if you get the reference.
Graupner, this is a lot of fun, man.
Yeah. All right. RCGroups.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. Share it with your friends. Grow the hobby. Jason Cole, Jim T. Graham. Thanks for watching. Down.
Oh.
And when it cuts, the ball never comes down.
Do not taunt the drone.
I did hear that. Yeah. I remember that.
That is from Saturday Night Live. That's probably where I got the idea for that, from that Saturday Night Live rubber ball thing. Do not taunt. Anyone in the live chat, do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Matt Gunn got a job in the Full Scale Aviation Company. I was just thinking about him. Finished rewatching Breaking Bad last night. And for whatever reason, that made me think of Matt. And I thought, man, I haven't talked to Matt in a long time. But he went and took a real job, and I'm sure that he's tired. Not that this isn't real, but he has to get up, go there all day long, then go home, and then I'm sure cook dinner and whatever else Matt Gunn does, clean guns, things like that.
Work out his guns.
Well, I have to get into and my wife always says, that just doesn't sound right, Jim. I have to get into the back end of the website and work. I bet I've got 2 hours worth of stuff to do back there. Nikolai. I want to say thank you to everybody in the live chat. Always good to see y'all. Once again, I'm going to vocally say hey to Joey Crane, who sent me that great PM saying he looked forward to watching the podcast each week. I want to thank Jason Cole. Listen, y'all, everyone, first of all, Jason, I'm being real and I have no idea what I'm going to say next. So hold on tight. First, whenever we meet people at shows, they say,
wait. You ever know what you're going to say next?
Sometimes I have a direction I go. So I know where I'm going to land, but I don't know what happens between here and there. People are always like, you're living the dream. Hey, Joey Crane's on. Yo, everybody, Joey Crane. Right there. Live chat's on this side of me. Nice. So, yeah, I'm going to eat some popcorn tonight. Drink some, I just got some peppermint vodka. I'm going to give that a try because I'm sick and the doctor said I needed some medicine.
Flavored popcorn.
Yeah, peppermint vodka. Popcorn, yeah. So, what's my point here? My point is that people love to tell us we're living the dream, and I do not disagree. We certainly do a lot of, we have a lot of great things that we do here at rcgroups.com. But I will say that when Jason left town to hang out with his wife's family for a leisurely Thanksgiving dinner, it soon became a flurry of PMs and emails from me and him to them and us to text. It's not Thanksgiving in Canada, y'all. That's a whole different day. That was So they don't know it's Thanksgiving. And so when the server got moved, they moved it on top of Thanksgiving. So Jason ultimately just came home. Jason, I started out being very delicate about how often I contacted you that day, and that quickly caved into holding the roof up on the site, you know?
Yeah, seriously. It was crazy. Crazy.
So we were trying to keep everything working and operating. And how are the techs supposed to know what's not working on the site unless you and we are there to tell them? So it was a flurry of this is broke, this is broke, this is really not good, fix this first type of thing. And we're still doing that. So we have more live viewers on. And so what I would say to you is if you have something that you know is wrong and you don't already see posted in site suggestions and complaints, then be sure and let us know so we can let them know. Jason and I had a meeting about it this morning. And then one day, Jason and I, once again, will have Thanksgiving. I'm thinking next Thursday, perhaps.
Yeah, man.
Whew, all right. Well, y'all simmer down. I don't know, Nikolai, if Droneball is the word for pow. Joe Nolnick.
Update. I'm gonna check it.
What items near me is fixed is a report that just came in live.
How do I not even know about this yet?
Later, E-Powered RC, happy birthday, man. I hope you're not as old as me. Did he fix it, Jason?
It's fixed.
Oh, live. You heard it here first here, live on the RC Groups live Hangout podcast. The items near me is fixed, and you can thank Zolt.
Oh, and you can for now. That's fixed too.
What else is fixed?
I don't know.
Let's make this the end of the podcast fix it list, and we'll let you know what is fixed.
I can't test my ads because I don't have any newly posted ads. But
what about uploading a large image? Can someone try that?
Ooh.
Uploading images wasn't broke, but certain things were broke.
It was basically a size limitation problem.
And I believe the size, based on my memory, was 2 megabytes.
And there was also a physical dimension.
Thanks, Daniel. We appreciate it, man. Hey, the end of the podcast is coming just right because I'm losing my voice now. Hang on. I better go get that vodka early. I can't because I got to get all up in the back end of the site. What? That ain't right. They're going to rate me on this one. And
all right, I do have some original V900 images. These don't look like them. These were all
There you
edited.
go.
Maybe I don't. Maybe.
So
I
what's
don't.
happening here is we moved the server, and in doing so, a lot of addresses got changed, rerouted. So it sounds like some fixes have been going through.
It's like a big image, and it uploaded.
So maybe the big image issue is fixed.
Maybe.
If they fix everything by the end of the day, I'm going to say Jason and I should take tomorrow off. I'm not joking.
I would not be opposed to that, but I got stuff. I do have an article I have to write tomorrow.
Yeah, me
that
too.
I promised that I would write to get.
Well, let's not take off Monday because that's not the day to take off.
No, I was going to take off the month of December.
Well,
just kidding. I will be taking off like a couple days before Christmas to have surgery on my nasal system.
And I offered to do it with a dribble tool, and Jason said no.
Yeah.
I'm going to Mexico December 22nd, and we'll be with my family up there on the beach. It'll be terrible. I'll have to drink margaritas and eat cooked meat.
And I figured a trained professional would probably do a better job on my nose.
On your nostrils.
Yeah.
Well, you got two. We could try one if it didn't.
I don't want to take away from your packing, and getting ready for your trip, all that stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm already in the back end of the site. I don't want to get in the front end of your nose.
Holy cow, it's going to be 70 degrees where Nick is Sunday.
It's pretty nice out there right now. Have you gone outside?
Is it? No. What is it? It's 51. That's anything over 50, I'm okay with.
Yesterday it was crazy.
I wonder what the weather's going to be. I do want to do some flying.
Hey, it's the end of the podcast. I don't know if anyone out there is playing Red Dead Redemption 2 online, but if you are, I haven't made the posse yet because I keep losing all my money before I can pay for it, but I'm going to create a posse. I would love for you to be in my posse. I will have a nice big camp and hopefully other things that you can share. As you know, based on everything you see behind my head, I'm a cowboy-based individual from Texas. So Red Dead Redemption is a game that I'm pretty sure made for me, taking 8 years in the process. Did you hear how much I did in the first 10 days of sales, Jason?
No, how many? How much?
200. That was first 10 days. So we're way past that. But first 10 days, $275 million in sales.
Holy cow.
Yeah, crazy.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, well, I'll think of y'all when I drink margaritas. All right, I believe we've squeezed every precious ounce of juice out of this podcast. I'm excited to know that things have been fixed. Jason, that's a pretty cool shirt you have on.
Droneball.
Droneball. I wish I could play it. I'm excited that Joey's on with us today. And that is all. This has been the RC Groups podcast. Thanks to our podcast sponsor, Hobby King at hobbyking.com. Y'all simmer down now.
And Droneball. Droneball.
Droneball. Droneball. I think that's the last
Hey, everybody, we're here live at the field with Jason.
We're not here live. We're actually leaving.
I gotta get out of here.